You are listening to a Facebook Live of the Astro Business Forecast of February. Each month I do these forecasts live in my Facebook group. And if you want to join these live and if you want to ask questions in the group, hop over to Facebook, search for Astrology as a Strategy, or you can find the direct link in the show notes. And I would love to see you for the next forecast. Welcome to the Astrology as a Strategy podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Banassi. I'm on a mission to help you amplify your influence so you can free up time to spend with your family while increasing your revenue. I'm an astrologer, business mentor, an adventure seeker, and a proud mama of 3 kids. Think of this podcast as your shortcut to more joy and ease in your business. Running a business is joyful, and when you're not having fun, you haven't cracked the code yet, but that's about to change. I share practical and short tools how to use astrology in your business and life. So let's get started on using your energy strategically to make a bigger impact, have more free time, and grow your wealth. Hello and welcome to the Astro Business Forecast of February. Now, I don't know about you, but January was like poof and it was gone, which is cool. But now we have a new month and February is going to be very exciting, at least in my opinion. January was a month where we were working through a lot of kind of inner demons. We were exploring the depth of some of the triggers that we're experiencing because we still had Venus in retrograde and that ended at 29th of January, and we have Mercury currently still in retrograde. And the interesting thing is with these planets retrograding is that we are we're seeing the same devil, just on a different level. But the interesting thing is the devil usually wears a different costume, so it's harder to actually understand hey, this is the same trigger, this is the same devil that keeps showing up. It involves a little bit of digging and finding where that trigger is coming from. So if you're here watching live, let me know, because obviously I cannot see who you are until you wave or say hello. So I would love to see if you're here with me live. And let's just dive into February. So February is a month where we are kind of recalibrating. We had Venus in retrograde, we still have Mercury in retrograde, which is going to end this Friday. And this feels like, especially this week, feels like there's a lot of buzzing and energy and high vibration going on this week. So if you are, hi Christine, good morning. So if you are experiencing that, because I've talked to many people last week, that was kind of like the breakdown. That was like, whew, okay, there's a lot of shit happening. There's a lot of things going on. And then this week, we can start to move forward. Especially Friday is like a very charged day because Mercury goes out of retrograde. Let me make sure that I say everything correctly and take my notes here, because I want to give you the right information. And I know a lot, but I cannot remember everything by heart. So let me just give a second. Friday. Yes, we have Mercury going direct in Capricorn. We have Mars sextiling Jupiter, and we have the Sun conjunct Saturn. Now with these energies, it can go either way. Usually when Mercury just goes out of retrograde, it's almost like at a standstill, so it's not really moving yet. So it's not like the instant hit of, okay, yes, let's go, let's do this. But this Friday, because we have the Sun and Saturn together and we have Mars sextiling Jupiter, the only thing you have to know about that is that there is this gigantic force that's bubbling from the inside that wants us to keep moving forward. And the interesting thing with Saturn is you can either use Saturn as as a planet that inspires you or a planet that pushes you. The pushing part is not the best quality. That's not the best use of Saturn, because then it's like it's the hard working, it's the grinding, it's the oh you need to do this because. But if you let Saturn inspire you, because it's so disciplined, because Saturn is so structured and it wants to kind of make sense of everything, it is very beneficial to use that energy to actually really get some stuff done. Today, we already have the new moon in Aquarius. The Sun and Saturn are also coming together in Aquarius. So there is this revolution that we're starting. Aquarius is the revolutionary sign. It's also the sign that really wants to create freedom. It's kind of this quest for freedom. So today, spend some time, and this doesn't have to be like an hour or two. Just if you have like 5 minutes, sit down, quiet your mind, because Aquarius is an air sign. There is a lot of like mental chatter going on. But I want you to try to calm your mind and think about the revolution that you're creating into this world. Think about how can you create that movement, that change in the world that you want to see, because Aquarius is also not just a revolutionary, but it's also a humanitarian. So it doesn't just care about itself. Like, oh, I'm just doing my thing, and whatever you do, just you figure it out on your own. No, Aquarius is the one that wants to take care of everybody else too. It's the collective energy. And the more that you are able to raise your energy, it will have this ripple effect into the collective. If we all can raise our vibration today, that will create this beautiful ripple effect. And even just in your business, think about it. How is your business influencing the people around you? And not just the people that you work with, but even closer, your family, your friends. How does this impact them? And then you feel the ripple is starting to grow and grow and grow. So that is something that you can focus on today. This week, let me quickly take my notes with me. And then we're closing the week off with a little bit of a harder aspect. So this weekend, so Friday is really good to get some shit done. Saturday or Sunday is like, just take some time by yourself, because there might be some conflicts going on the inside, which you might project to other people. And that's not what we want. So the week after that, we have Mercury conjunct Pluto. And this is the third time they come together. And this is really like a fuck you vibe. Go for your goals and dreams, and don't let anybody else tell you what you can and cannot do. And make sure that you talk to people who share that vision with you, who share that opinion. And other people, just push them to the side. Because what happens with Pluto wants to transform everything it touches. It's kind of this, it's like fire. But it's the fire of the underworld. So if you listen, because Mercury is a lot of communication, if you listen to all of those voices around you and the voices that drag you down, that's not going to be very helpful. So make sure that you pay attention to that and you focus on surrounding yourself with people who really uplift you and who help you further in your cause. So just to backtrack, actually February is a really, really nice month. Of course, there are always like harder aspects, there are always like this more challenging moments, but February is kind of smooth. Not to go too far into the future, March is, well, March will be March. There's going to be a little bit more of I hate the word used challenging again, but it's a little bit of a challenge. But the beauty is when there's a challenge, there's an opportunity for growth because there's friction. Not that February there's no growth, but February is actually like putting all the systems in place so that when the challenges come, you have actually something to work with instead of feel like shaky because the foundation wasn't fully set yet. So on February 14th, we have Mercury going into Aquarius, so another planet in Aquarius. And this will really shift from, to help you. Sorry, I was just like, there was something going on my screen. Mercury is like talking to me through the retrograde. So Aquarius is a little bit emotionally distant. So it's not necessarily the most emotional sign, but it helps you to be really inventive with things. So it is a beautiful opportunity for you to really stand your unique grounds. Again, Aquarius is different than everybody else, and it also really embodies that uniqueness that you have. So this is a time to really keep going, claim yourself, but also keep renewing yourself. Just because last week you said that doesn't mean that this week you're like, well, I have a different opinion now, so this is what I share now. That week on February 16th, we also have the full moon in Leo. And Leo is about fun, is about pleasure, but also about leadership. But this is a full moon, so there is this invitation to you to release the blocks that you have around really embodying your leadership and acknowledging that you like to be acknowledged, not as in a way that it's you cannot live or you cannot do business without that acknowledgement, but it is understanding that we need to be valued by other people. We thrive on that, and there's such a shame culture around, oh, but you shouldn't depend, or like you shouldn't crave for people's validation, but it's nice to be validated. So there's like finding that balance between, do I need it, or this feels good, because that's Leo too, likes to be in the spotlight, likes to feel important. And it's okay to feel that, even though society has told you that you just keep your voice down. Don't make too many waves. Well, Leo wants to make waves. But it's also interesting opposition with the sun, because the sun is in Aquarius. Aquarius thinks about the collective, where Leo is like, look at me, I'm the center of attention. So find a way that works for you, and don't forget to shine your bright light. That same day, on that full moon day, we also have Venus and Mars coming together. It's the feminine and the masculine coming together. It is compassion and passion coming together. So if you can merge those two into this really powerful energy, because we need both. We need the feminine, we need the softness, we need the yin. And we need the masculine, we need the action, we need yang. And together they create this really beautiful harmony. I think it's really amazing that this happens on the same day as the full moon, which the full moon is always an opposition of the sun and the moon. And this really creates the opportunity for us to synthesize it. And this can also explode into only looking at the opposites, but this is really your invitation to merge these two together. Zoop. And then on February 18th, we have the sun moving into Pisces. And this is the season of flow, of embracing what is. Aquarius wanted to innovate, wants different things. It wants to constantly look for the next thing. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So after this, we have the sun at the end of March. We have the sun moving into Aries, which is the start of the astrological new year. But Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's kind of like, yeah, you do all the things. You just be busy. I'm just gonna sit here and observe everything. and go with the flow and move with everything and not being so much on the pushing and the wanting to get things done. So what Pisces is really good at is, because it creates the space to relax and to flow with things, you're also able to receive more downloads, more insights, more messages. But again, we need to create space for that, because if you're so focused on like the doing and the making stuff happen, then you don't have time to create this beautiful spaciousness that Pisces is. It's a lot about daydreaming. You don't have to have a plan. You don't have to have like this schedule figured out until when you do what and how. And of course we need schedules, and of course we need that flow, but this is really a season, if you can, try to embrace it as much as you can, because you will experience, the more that you will flow with everything, the more and the faster things will click in its way once the sun moves into Aries, which is at the end of March. The last week of February, that's a lot of dreaming and Piscean energy, where you're really sucked into this dream world. So that week, make sure that you don't jump into that too much, where you kind of lose touch with reality. Now, I know earlier I said dream away and float. At the same time, what Pisces can also do is, when things get too much, too overwhelming, it shuts down and it numbs out. Notice this in your body. Also start to notice right now already, what does numbing out feel for you? How does it feel in your body? There's nothing wrong with turning on the TV and watching some Netflix. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a glass of wine. But once it starts to be a coping mechanism of shutting things out, then you're in trouble. Because those things that you're trying to ignore will bite you in the butt later on. So especially the last week of February, allow yourself some spaciousness to really feel the feelings, and try not to numb out. Try and make it a conscious decision. Okay, this feels overwhelming. I'm going to take a step back, go outside, breathe in some fresh air. And then if you still feel the urge to either watch TV or drink a glass of wine or eat a good piece of chocolate, by all means do it. But don't do it to numb the feeling that you're having, because if you're not dealing with it right now, and once we are in the Aries season, which is fiery, which is really the go-getting energy, I just saw this image of too much power on a power line. It just explodes. And that is what's going to happen if you don't create enough space this month to go with, especially at the end of the month, to go with the flow, to embrace your feelings, and to Jitske said she needs to watch again. Yeah, there are a lot of, well, I will record every week. You can go, wow. Let me just take a moment. This is still Mercury again. It's just so funny. I always have these slip-ups when I do a live during Mercury retrograde. Every week on my podcast, I will do a weekly forecast. And there you can get all the dates and get all the information that you need in order to plan your week, to plan your week ahead. But if you want to take notes now, just the last week of February, make sure it's spacious. Make sure your calendar has enough space for you to relax and have fun. But also what the Pisces energy is, it's about using your artistic gifts. And now if you're listening and think, well, I don't have any artistic gifts. Everybody has them. There's no escaping them, but it matters how you use them. One of my coaches so brilliantly said, like, her business is a way for her artistic expression. It could be that too. Maybe that's crafting your new branding. Maybe that is thinking about the photo shoot that you're going to do. Maybe it is about the rebrand of your website. Whatever it is, make sure that you pour your creativity, your artistic expression into something, especially in Pisces season, because it will help you to get really inspired and really get things going and moving. I'm in the middle of a rebrand and I'm just taking my time, and it might launch in February and it might launch in March. It's like I'm not rushing it. I'm allowing myself to kind of go with these energies and let them inspire me, instead of like dictating me like, oh, it should happen this week because this week is like really potent. I'm just gonna see what happens and where the energy will flow. So that is something that I want you to remember as well. And that was it for February. Those were the most important dates. There's always more to tell you. Yeah, Jitska's going to Portugal. That is like a fabulous time to go. Like there's no more spaciousness. There's not a way to create more spaciousness than go on holiday. So that's really amazing. If you want to get a monthly forecast for you personally, I just did one with one of my clients yesterday, and it's so amazing to see like how everything started to click into place. Like we've been working together for quite a while, and it just brings everything together. Well, she knows where the full moons and the new moons land in her chart, but how that influences the topics and the themes that she can focus on for herself and in her business. And the beauty of this is that you really optimize the way that you work. It helps you to really clearly see, hey, what is in front of me? But already, what do I feel inside? Because one of the things that she mentioned, like, and she even said, like, I say this every single time because we meet every month. And she mentioned, it's so nice to have the confirmation that what I feel is validated. Again, what I told you about the full moon in Leo, we don't need the validation, we can go without. But isn't it amazing if the cosmos is telling you, yes, this is what happened, this is what it means, and this is what you can focus on, and you already know what you're feeling. I'm not going to tell you anything new. I'm not going to tell you anything mind-blowing where you're like, what? I had no idea. It's more of a confirmation, like, oh, that is what I'm feeling. And this is how I can channel the energy. And these are the steps I can take in my business, which make everything flow even more and better and more fluid. So this is a 6-month container that you work with me one-on-one. And it is such a beautiful way to expand your awareness of what is already going on. It really helps you to kind of dive deeper into, oh my goodness, this is what is going on, and this is how I can utilize it, and this is how I can benefit from it. And there are also challenges that will show up, and we will walk through those. In those 6 months, you have access to me on Voxer. You can message me every day of the week, and we go back and forth and figure out a strategy that works for you for that week, for that day, or whatever is coming up. I also sometimes have people talking to me like they have a sales call and they're feeling all the things. What is happening in your chart that day? How can I give you direction into, hey, but if you focus on this, the energy will go into another direction and you will feel more grounded and stable and safe. If you want some more information, you can message me below here or send me a DM directly, and I would love to walk you through what the options are and see if this is the right fit for you for this moment in your business. And that was it for today. I'm really, really excited about this month. I hope you are too, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in here. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you all again very soon.